Over the last day and a half, we've been hearing lots of big ideas for India. We've been talking about the opportunities that are going to come our way. Tony Abbott spoke about how we could be the leader of the free world in the next couple of decades. And we've also heard about artificial intelligence, creating jobs, also taking away jobs. So how do we ensure that our youth are ready to grasp all these opportunities that are coming our way? How do we ensure that we can convert knowledge to employability? And I can't think of a better panel to join me to have this discussion. Thank you so much for being with us here today. And Ravneet, I'd like to start with you. We've been talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. And by that time, we hope that India will be the skill capital of the world. But there's a long way to go for us to do that. So how can foreign universities, and in your capacity as a representative here of Deakin University, how can foreign universities play a key role here?
Thanks, Gargi, and very good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Look, when you think of Viksit Bharat, the first thing that comes to mind for me, being sort of in this academic cycle of things, is skills and people. You cannot have a country leading into the future without a very strong focus on skilling people. So if you look at the Indian population, I think it's about 5% of the overall population that is skilled at the moment. So there's a huge requirement, a huge scope, and a huge need for skilling to happen at the sort of grassroots and right through the pyramid. Now, what can foreign universities do? I always feel in our sector there is a pre-NEP 2020 and then there is a post-world of NEP 2020. And that has transformed how India looks at foreign education and how India looks at engagement with the rest of the world for education. Post-2020, with the implementation of what can really happen in India, it has opened doors for universities and Indian universities to come together to be able to do and make the difference. I think the exciting world today is how you bring in change together. How do you bring the best of both the worlds and melt it into a melting pot in India to make this big difference that India needs to see? I mean, if you look at, again, some stats around the skilling agenda, 15% of the people that go through some skilling program are able to get some sort of employment. So we still have the rest of the 85% that is looking for employment in spite of being skilled. So there is a gap, right? How do we come together with this change that will happen in the next 20 years for India to be the skill capital of the world is where foreign universities will play a huge role. And for me, it's really very interesting because Deakin became the world's first university to set up a campus in India. And it is our second year of operation, and I'm very happy to say that our experience has been really, really rewarding. And of course, lots of learnings. India, is not all that easy to do business, and this is quite a focused area of growth, but I think it has been very exciting to see that journey.
All right. Well, you spoke about, developing together, taking everyone along. And Dr. Payal Kanodia, that brings me to you because your work as the chairperson of M3M Foundation has been more at the grassroots, community building. We clearly are in need of more vocational training to ensure that our youth are more employable. So if you could tell us a bit about your efforts and what more can be done.
So continuing where Ravneet left, I think she's made my job easy by saying skilling and education literally goes hand in hand, and India is a long way to go. Because whatever we talk about, a developed nation, India 2047, Skill India, Viksit Bharat, and PM Modi's vision, everything aligns with the population that lives in the rural part of India. And having said that, majority of our population even today is the rural population. So they definitely need support, they definitely need skilling. And I would like to just take you quickly through some of the programs that we run at M3M Foundation. Our programs like I Empower Academy of Skills. It these academies basically upskill children in different vocational courses. There are almost 17 courses which we run across Haryana as multiple skill centers. And we train children, youth, and women in different courses and make them independent, make them employable. And the youth, which has dropped out of school, education system, it is specifically designed for them because, you know, once you come out of that education system, now there is no way you can get into jobs. So this skilling plays a very, very significant role. Through our initiatives on the community kitchen, we skill women, we upskill women, and this skilled force of women today, I'm proud to say, in 5 years of establishing these community kitchen, we are serving almost 90,000 meals a year. And these women are earning money, they are taking back income to their homes, to their families, they are more independent than ever. Then many more programs. iMill on the Wheels is something where we upskill the youth from the villages. They go door to door and, you know, they literally help households to give their products, and they would take oil out of those products and give it to them. That ways we are also providing skilling, employment, and a lot more which is needed for us to see a India 2047 vision come true, a Viksit Bharat vision come true.
That's right, and you know, being at NDTV for over 20 years, I'm fed up of seeing those stories where you have PhD students applying for a job of a peon, and you know, we've done those stories time and again, innumerable times. But Ravneet, if we can talk again about the role of foreign universities, if you can tell us what are 5 things that Deakin University can do or is doing to help us in this journey of having, you know, a skilled youth of India.
Thanks, Gargi. If I look at the pyramid, I think that foreign universities can contribute right across the pyramid. When you look at the grassroots level, like Payal was mentioning, I think there is a lot that foreign university can bring in. I'll give you an example of what we are doing. So we are working with an Indian institution in Pune, where we have adopted 200 villages across together, where we are looking at women empowerment. And we've also brought in universities that are Deakin University's partners. So we've got 2 universities from the UK, 1 from the US, we've got 2 from Australia, and then ourselves. All of us together with this particular Indian institution are working towards a program which will do the research, which will do the analysis, use of technology, providing a platform to these women from these 200 villages to be able to use digital marketing to showcase and sell their product out into the world. So while universities in the past have not really been thought about being action on the ground, I think the world is changing. Like Payal also said, I think skill and education, skill and knowledge, in my mind, have to go hand in hand. And at this point of time, it's really an important part for India to look at that, to make the change. In my mind, inclusive education, accessibility, how do you use technology for accessibility, for high quality education? And NEP now allows you to do that. So I've got my 5 C's that I think foreign universities can bring in. The first to me is collaboration. And when I say collaboration, I mean collaboration from top to bottom. You could look at high-value skill training through leadership training. Again, there are numerous examples that universities are already working in India, but that can be amplified. You can actually take it to the next step and really make it more accessible, not just to the elite sort of band of people, but across to India. The second to me is looking at curriculum. How do we bring best world curriculum to India, and how do we make it applicable in India? And I think it's not just about foreign universities doing it. It's about doing it in collaboration with the Indian ecosystem. I mean, if I was to make one point about the law about foreign universities coming to India, I would like to tell the Education Minister that you should absolutely be looking more towards how foreign universities can collaborate and also look at campus within campus in India. It's good for foreign universities to bring in their campuses, but the melting pot really is when you bring this together. When you bring an Indian institution, when you bring an Australian institution and put it together and get the best out of it.
So collaborating with Indian institutions that are already on the ground.
Yes, and that's where my third point about culture comes into play. I think it's really important for Indian culture and for culture from different parts of the world to come in and make a difference in how you can change the youth of today and tomorrow. Because we live in a global world, we've got to think about how we can look at the boundaries and make it into more of a melting pot. I think the other two for me are capacity and capability. Building India's capability is building the capability for the world, right? With 1.6 billion people and a lot of them hungry, a lot of them wanting to make a change, you can change the world. And which is to me why skilling is absolutely the imperative to Viksit Bharat.
Absolutely, and you spoke about collaboration, so I'd like to bring in, Payal here and talk a bit more about that when it comes especially to public-private partnerships. What more can be done there? What message would you have on that to the Education Minister, as we just heard here? How can we get states more involved? You spoke about the work that you do in Haryana, but yes, clearly more states also need to put a lot of focus on this to ensure that their youth are capable and ready for all these opportunities that are coming.
Of course, and public-private partnerships is something that is essential in any kind of work we do. And as Ravneet has already put it together, I think it's so beautiful even when you look at the top of the pyramid or the bottom of the pyramid. Collaboration, capacity building, culture, everything, literally goes hand in hand. Whether you're working at grassroots level or you're working with international universities, it's all same. The structure is same, the methodology is same. It's just that the people are different. They need to be treated a little bit differently. So collaboration is extremely important. The public-private partnerships is very, very important. And especially when you talk about working in grassroots level, social sector, public-private partnerships become even more important because there are a lot of policies, there are a lot of frameworks that are needed for the beneficiaries to take advantage of that and to be able to take full potential out of them. Hence, it is absolutely, absolutely a key to, doing any kind of a work for our youth, to make them future ready, to make them empowered. We really need the collaboration with the government, the public societies, and the grassroots population.
I just want to add, Gargi, when I think about, Payal's point, when I think about skilling, so we have ITIs in India, right? These are the technical institutions. In my mind, if you pick an IIT and you focus an ITI as a buddy system with the top IITs and say a cluster of 5 ITIs with an IIT and focusing on one skill set, let's say energy transition, let's say green revolution, and you pick these 5 ITIs with world collaboration, you bring in the curriculum, you use technology, and you channelize the youth to be able to look at upskilling in the jobs of the future. So I really have this dream about how one can actually do, almost plot this against India's amazing education system with the use of foreign universities coming into India. Rather than just doing degrees, and I'm being in the academia, I'm not against degrees. I think degrees are a must.
Not hollow degrees, which
not
is the problem.
Hollow degrees.
Yes.
Our problem in India is we churn more graduates without the skill and the knowledge.
Absolutely.
So they don't have the jobs.
And
Absolutely.
I agree with the
That
point
has
of
to change.
future-ready jobs and technology being the key today, because that is something that will make our youth future-ready.
Absolutely. We have to make our youth future ready. We're going to end this session on that, note, on that message that we want to put out there. I'm also very happy that I had an all-women panel here. It's great to see that. And women, too, will play a key role in, grasping these opportunities when we talk about Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
And
very
a big
much.
round of
Thank you
applause
so
please,
much.
for these lovely ladies. Thank you. If you can just wait, we have a felicitation.